Hello students, welcome to Notebook. Most of us have prayed to God at some point of time in our lives. Do you like saying your prayers and praying to God? Or is it mandatory for you to sing a prayer first thing in the morning at school? Now, think of a puja celebration at home or a neighbor's place. You might be attending the puja for the laddus later, but an aunt or a friend sitting in front of you might be chanting their mantras and praying sincerely. Religious faiths and beliefs have taken many forms over the ages. People pray for different reasons. Some pray during a crisis, requesting God to end their troubles. Others pray before their exams, hoping that it will make God happy and bring them good luck. We also pray for the speedy recovery of a sick person. Then, there are people who have a personal relationship with God. They are devoted to their gods and love praying. They do not pray to ask for anything from God, but they pray for the sake of praying. When did the first religions emerge? And how did people change their forms and ways of praying to God? Let us find out through this video. For long, many religions have believed in the cycle of birth and rebirth. This means that we are born several times and we lead many lives on earth. Many religious books on Hinduism stated that people of high birth or high caste will enjoy more respect, honor, and privileges or advantages in society. Some people were not happy with these religious writings and converted to Buddhism or Jainism. They thought that the teachings of the Buddhas and the Jainas did not discriminate between people and treated people more equally and fairly. Some believers thought that the human beings can escape the cycle of birth and rebirth if they live a religious and hard-working life. The Bhagavad Gita stated that human beings can become free from the bondage of birth and rebirth if they practiced bhakti or devotion. Many people who practiced bhakti or devotion believed in a supreme God. People who followed Hinduism chiefly worshipped the deities of Shiva, Vishnu, and Durga. Different local religious groups or cults started following the methods of worship prescribed or recommended in the Puranas. The Puranas also became more inclusive and liberal or generous. They stated that devotees or religious followers of all castes can receive the grace or blessings of God. This was a positive step forward because earlier the Puranas and other Hindu religious texts had said that only people of a high caste could enjoy a close relationship with God. The minds of the religious writers had become more progressive. Many new religions emerged between the 7th to the 9th centuries. They were formed by the Pulayar and the Panars, who belonged to the lowest castes in the Indian society and were known as the Untouchables. Some of them worshipped Shiva and became known as the Nayanars. Others worshipped Vishnu and were called the Alvars. They criticized the teachings of Buddhism and Jainism. Their faith was based on the ideals of love and heroism found in Sangram or Tamil literature. They wrote beautiful songs for their deities and sang these songs as they traveled from place to place. Hagiographies or religious biographies of the Nayanars and the Alvars were composed between the 10th and the 12th centuries. Round this time, the Chola kings built many beautiful temples around the shrines which were visited by the Nayanars and the Alvars. In this way, they linked or built ties between Bhakti tradition and temple worship. Let's now talk about two individual saints or philosophers who believed in Bhakti, Shankara and Ramanuja. Shankara was born in a village in Kerala in the 8th century. He travelled to Varanasi and other parts of India, talked to many religious saints, and then preached his philosophy of Advaita to saints, ascetics or sannyasins and villagers. His doctrine taught oneness or union with the Supreme God. Brahman is the only ultimate reality and has no form. Shankara thought that the world around us is Maya or illusion or made up of falsehoods or untruths. Only Brahman is the ultimate reality. One must give up attachment to material objects on earth to understand the nature of Brahman. Only then he can attain salvation. Attaining salvation is about becoming free from the sorrows and hardships of everyday living and the cycle of birth and rebirth. The other great philosopher, Ramanuja, was born in Tamil Nadu in the 11th century. He was inspired and influenced by the Alvars and worshipped Vishnu. He preached the doctrine or philosophy of Vishisht Advaita. Vishisht Advaita talks of qualified or advanced oneness or union with the Supreme God. In such a union, the individual soul does not lose its unique qualities after uniting with the Supreme Soul. It remains distinct, separate or unique. Basavanna and his companions, Allama Prabhu and Akka Mahadevi, started the Virashaiva movement in Karnataka in the mid-12th century. They believed in human equality. They rejected or protested against Hindu religion influenced by the Brahmanas. The Brahmanas believed in caste divisions and considered women to be inferior to or weaker than men. The Virashaivas were not idol worshippers. They did not follow rituals of worship or outward show of devotion. They believed in personal devotion. The saint poets of Maharashtra also did not believe in rituals or outward display or show of devotion. They worshipped a form of Vishnu and believed that a personal God lives in every human being. Their Bhakti tradition was focused on the Vithala temple in Pandharpur. Pandharpur is a famous pilgrimage town in Maharashtra. The Marathi saint poets belonged to the untouchable Mahar caste and wrote their devotional poems and songs in simple Marathi to inspire the common people. They did not believe in caste divisions and lived an ordinary life within their societies and families. They did not become saints to practice their religion. They were humanists who served and helped other human beings in need. The Nathpanthis, the Siddhas, and the Yogis also criticized conventional or mainstream religions. They also criticized the customs or order of the society. Their philosophy was similar to that of Shankara. They believed in renouncing the world and becoming one with the ultimate reality or Supreme God. They practiced yogasanas, breathing exercises, and meditation to unite with God. In our next video, we'll talk of the interesting life of the Sufi saints. Sufi songs are famous worldwide and are performed at various festivals. Qawwali is the most popular form of Sufi music. Find out more about Sufi music till we meet in our next video to learn about the Sufi saints. See you soon.